next speaker is attempting one more, attempting project 1 from the advanced communicator manual. I request this evaluator to read out the guidelines.
The speaker is attempting project 1, the folk tale from the storytelling manual. The objectives of the project are: tell a folk tale that is entertaining and enjoyable for a specific age group, to use vivid imagery and voice to enhance the tale. Time manager, please note the time is 7 to 9 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster.
The speaker is a seasoned and accomplished Toastmaster. He works in a medical field as a seller of products related to blood transfusion. His title of the speech is Varya's Mother. Put your hands together for Ratan Shetty.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Once upon a time, long, long ago, far, far away, in the village of Abibaskar, near Vladivostok in Russia, there lived a little girl by the name of Varya. Varya's eyes sparkled like diamonds. Her cheeks were like apples from Kashmir. Her beautiful golden hair was tied into a cute little pigtail. Varya accompanied her mother during the harvest season when she went out to gather the wheat. While her mother was gathering the wheat, Varya followed her, playing amongst the profuse, plentiful crop of wheat. One day at noon, Varya was exhausted and fell asleep below a huge haystack. Her mother continued obliviously collecting the hay, doing her job, moving farther and farther from Varya. When Varya woke up, she saw that her mother had disappeared. She began sobbing, "Mama, I want my mama." The villagers saw this little girl, wanted to help her, started asking her, "What's your mother's name? What does she look like? What is she wearing?" Varya didn't have answers to these questions. All she could say was, "I want my mama." And the only answer that she could come up was, "My mother is the most beautiful woman in the world." So they set out, looking out for all the beautiful women in the village, rounding up blondes, brunettes, redheads, each one fit to wear a beauty crown. And the bevy of beauties was paraded in front of Varya. When she looked at each one of them, she just shook her head and said, "This is not my mama." She was lost, like a star in the daytime. By this time, Varya's mother had figured out where she had left her daughter behind, and she reached the spot. She was huffing and puffing. She pushed aside the crowd of people and came to where Varya was crying. She looked at her and scooped her up in her hands. Varya, her sadness was now transformed into joy. She said, "Love you, Mama." Villagers looked at Varya's mother. They were was surprised. She was not a conventional beauty. She was short, stout, sturdily built. She had plain looks and had lost her front tooth. But the glow that she had on her face could have brightened the darkest of nights. The villagers now realized what the little girl meant when she said that my mother is the most beautiful woman in the world. That night, when we went back home, the villagers hugged their loved ones a little tighter and huddled a little closer, because a little girl had taught them an important lesson. We do not love people because they are beautiful, but because people are beautiful or appear beautiful to us because fellow Toastmasters, there are some stories which we love to hear as kids. There are other stories which we would love to tell our kids. To me, this Russian folktale falls in both these categories. I loved hearing when my school teacher recited or narrated it in school, and I would love, in fact I love narrating it to my sons. I hope you enjoyed it.